Hello and welcome to this edition of Bayou Time. I'm your host, Keith Weissite, licensed clinical social worker with Terrible and Home Care. Very glad you're joining us as we bring you some breaking news. And as a social worker in our community, I got to tell you, it's alarming, but I'm very glad to have with us Chief Travis Terrio. Chief, thanks so much for joining us again.
Thank you for having me.
And again, we're coming on the heels of maybe one of the worst 2 weeks that we've seen with some of these overdoses. Tell us a little bit about what we're experiencing in the community.
So over the last couple of weeks, we started noticing an increase in the amount of overdose deaths and overdoses in general
Right.
that people have survived.
Right.
And it's pretty alarming what we're seeing. We're up to 7 overdose deaths that have quickly come upon us. And that's not including the ones that people have survived.
Right.
And they were revived with Narcan. With that information, our narcotics agents were able to compile some information and provide some different photos that we pushed out this morning through the police department, just kind of telling people what to look for.
And these are fentanyl overdoses.
This
that
is
we're
all
talking about.
all fentanyl related overdoses, and
Right.
they're selling pills as something that's authentic, and it's not.
Right.
In no way, shape, or form does the Houma Police Department condone illegal narcotics use, right? But we don't want to lose any more citizens. You know,
Right.
we understand that, you know, there's an illness out there and people are addicted, and we're trying to reach out and help people, but we don't want to see any more of our citizens dying.
And we're even seeing, and just because I have colleagues and because I'm in the field, that we have people that are actually getting treatment that are really still not aware of what maybe is a real or isn't a real pill that they're taking. So it's important to be able to do that. So flash those back one more time, if you don't mind. Chief, let us know some of these, if you don't mind. This is an authentic fentanyl,
Right. And this is
authentic oxycodone versus a fake one.
And this data is some stuff that our guys were able to research and pull off the internet. But there's a authentic one to the left, and then to the right in the photo is an example of what a fake one looks like, you know. But if you have to take medication, you should not take medication from anyone other than a pharmacy.
Right. That's prescribed by your doctor.
Prescribed by your doctor and obtained through a pharmacist.
Right.
You know, and
So here is a Xanax.
that's a Xanax with an example of the real one, and then I think that's the fake one at the bottom. If I'm not mistaken,
The next one.
mistaken.
Right. So that's the fake one.
Yeah.
And so you can see how it's broken up by the bars. But again, don't be buying Xanax or your oxycodone or Oxycontin and don't be getting it from anywhere other than from your pharmacy, as you mentioned, ordered by your physician. I mean, it's just, you're putting yourself at risk. We're letting the public know you're putting yourself at risk. 7 fentanyl deaths, overdose deaths in 2 weeks is 7 too many.
Yeah. What we're telling you is, look, you keep messing with fentanyl, you're gonna die.
It's way
We don't
too
know.
strong.
It's too strong. It's dangerous. You know, you shouldn't be purchasing anything on the street and taking it. You know, don't put your life at risk and put your family in this position to have to bury you.
That's exactly right. And so, again, we've experienced 7 overdose deaths, and we don't come on and talk about just some of the overdoses, but there's a whole lot more overdoses where, because of the efforts that have been made in identifying Narcan, getting Narcan out quickly, and you and your teams have done that in our community, but we've got so many more that we're saving lives. 7's too many.
That's exactly right. And let me tell you this. There's not enough that I can say about our narcotics team and our investigators and our police officers at the Houma Police Department. They're working diligently to do everything they can to put a dent in it.
Right.
You know, I don't know if we can stop it, but we're going to do whatever we can to, you know, maybe save one person.
Right.
And we're trying to resolve it, but our investigators are doing everything they can.
And the other thing that we're doing, I'm asking people to think about the fact that some of these people, and I've known several that have had young children, several that have kids, and everybody's got a family. I ask you to think about, before you go and make a decision like that, and I guess this is just a shout out to our community, before you go and make a decision to go and get drugs off of the street, knowing that Chief is telling us, the narcotics division is telling us, a lot of these have fentanyl in them, and you can't tell. It's hard to tell a difference between what is that real Oxycontin and what is the one that's got fentanyl in it, and people are dying at an alarming rate. Again, Chief mentioned it. Don't put your family through that. Don't put yourself through that. Go and get the help that you need for your addiction if you have it. There's a lot of help that's out there. We know that drug court and a lot of our facilities that provide some of those things, they want to help. Y'all want to help. We're trying to save lives, but the people on the street don't care about that. They're trying to get these drugs out and sold and make some money off of people that are dying.
Yeah. Look, pharmacists, they go to school for years. I doubt that the street level pharmaceutical representative knows much about what he's doing. You know, he does not care about you.
He or she.
And yeah, he or she does not care about you. And they just worried about making their money.
Right.
You know, but I can tell you, our officers, they're working diligently.
Right. And they're partnering. They're trying to work with these different agencies, working
absolutely.
with.
We're working with all of our local, state, federal agencies. Everybody's working together with a common goal. And it's just, we're trying to resolve it. And we've seen more inside the city for whatever reason than anywhere else.
Here of late. And so for people out there, you want to make sure that you are being diligent. The other thing is, let's be good stewards of our family members and do what we can to help them rather than letting them go and do some of these things where maybe you've seen this on HTV, you've seen Chief come on and talk about it, finding out what they're doing with their narcotics division and trying to help. Go and do something and be something for the positive. Go ahead. Final thought, Chief.
Last month was Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yes.
We pumped out a lot of good information. We pushed out a lot of resources to everyone. Use the resources. If you need help, reach out and get the help. If you know someone needing help, reach out to them.
Appreciate it. Chief, thank you for your time as always. All right, guys, that'll do it for this particular segment. Don't go anywhere. A lot more Bayou time when we continue.